Hi class, in this video I'm going to show you all about our topic 3 assignment called Aligned Assessments. For this assignment you are creating a PowerPoint presentation or a Google Slides presentation um, where you're going to go over the assessment type. In a PowerPoint presentation, you are envisioning that you would be presenting this information to your colleagues in some way. So when you're writing a PowerPoint presentation, you put your main points on your slides, and then you put a lot of information in your speaker notes. Let's take a quick look. So here we can see this is an example of someone's work. And you can see they're explaining formative assessment, and they put some bullet points on the slide, but then a lot of information is in that speaker notes. This is kind of what you would be saying out loud if you were presenting this, this presentation. So on your slideshow, I did give some headers in the weekly announcement that you can use for each of the slides. And what I did was I took these bullets and I created a slide for each of them. So you're going to explain the description of the purpose and the characteristics of each assessment type. So you're going to explain what is the description and purpose for formative assessment, and what is the description and purpose for summative assessment. So you're going to explain why we use them, what are those characteristics of each assessment type, and the purpose of why we use them. Then you're going to want to give 2 examples of each assessment type. Let's take a look real quick at that example. So we've got description, purpose, characteristics of formative assessment, description, purpose, characteristics of summative assessment, and then you want to give 2 examples of each type. So here in this example, we see this person gave us 2 examples and they explained them. Then you're going to go into telling me what are some of those advantages of formative assessments using technology and disadvantages. In addition, for summative assessment, what are some of those advantages and disadvantages? Notice how the student provided citations within the text, as this assignment does require that you use 2 to 3 scholarly resources, but you can use more than that if needed. Then you're going to want to explain how do teachers align assessments to objectives. So you're going to explain how is this assessment aligned to your objective, and what is this about? When we talk about instructional alignment, assessment is one of the biggest pieces that needs to be aligned. So give some information on that. Then your next slide, you'll give information on the data we gather from these assessments and how it would be utilized in the lesson planning process. So if you're gathering data, what do we use it for? When I'm getting data from assessments, what is the purpose of that data? Is that used to help me plan for the next week's instruction? What do students understand and not understand? So give a little bit about that. Then you're going to add in your objective from topic 2. Please include the actual objective on your slide, so I don't have to go back to your topic 2 assignment and look at it. It's hard for me to be clicking between all of that when I'm grading. So it's really important that your objective is right on the slide for me to read. And then you're going to give me 1 example of a formative assessment and 1 example of a summative assessment that is aligned to your topic 2 objective. So you're showing me now I know how to align assessments to objective, like I explained in those previous slides up here. Finally, after you do that, you're going to make sure that you have your title, your references. Please make sure that they are in APA style. And you do want to have some speaker notes there where you're giving me a little more information than's on the slide. You should have a visually appealing slide. You want to make sure you include pictures. And if the text is really small by the default, whatever you picked, the design you picked, the template you picked, increase it, make it bigger. This is supposed to be a visually appealing, so you want to use that space appropriately. If it's tiny text, make it bigger. And then just have fun with this, get a little creative and use your scholarly sources and just explain to me that you really understand what formative assessment is, summative assessment is, and use those headers that I put in the announcement for this week. Please reach out if you have any questions about this week's assignment.